front slit long skirt slit. Designers, this is what we are sewing today, and this here is my demonstration. This is what might turned out to be. So if this looks like something you're interested in, please stay tuned and let's jump into the tutorial. So I have my fabric here, 2 yards of fabric, and it has been lined. Okay, I have a tutorial on how to do that on my channel, with 1 yard of lining or 2 yards of lining depending. So here is the bottom, demarcating the length of the slit. Okay, so I'm making it 18 inches because her slit length is 36. So from the bottom I'm marking 18 inches. This is for someone you've tried and tested and knows this demarcation works for her. If you don't know it, you can come at the waistline with her waist to hip for slit skirt is 10 inches, and then from the hip to what is supposed to be above the knee, you're going to put 8 inches. So in total it will be about 18 inches from the waist to what is supposed to be above the knee. Okay, and then you can come down by 2 inches if you don't want it so much above the knee. Okay, so that is what I have. Please, you should know that the sides was folded in with 1 inch to create the slit line that you see, and that demarcation I have is where the slit will stop. Okay, later on we are going to stitch that part. You see just how I do it. So as you can see, I've sewn the line, the slit line, with loose stitches for the bottom, which is so because we are going to rip it open for the slit eventually, and the bottom you ensure that, for the top you ensure that it's well stitched. Okay, when you're sewing a normal skirt, it has darts. Okay, and it's on this dart that the slit line will be. It's on one of the darts, all right, that the slit line will be depending on where you want your slit to be. So on a normal dart, the waist, the distance between the waist usually is 7 inches. Okay, and so you want to ensure that you can have your 7 inches plus what you're going to use to shape it out. What you're going to use to shape it out should be 6 to 7 inches. Okay, so I used 13 and a half. All right, I used 13 and a half, so I've added about 6.5 inches to it. Please take note that depending on where you want your slit, your 13 to 14 inches will be just where you want it. I want my slit on my left hand side. Okay, so it's going to start from the fold on your left. It's not going to be the opposite. If you want it on your right, it's going to start from the fold on your right hand side. Okay, now let's shape out the kebab. Her hip measurement is 40 inches. I used 38 inches. So mark your hip divided into 2. Put the demarcation there. What remains, divide it into 2. What you have, put it on your left, and then put it on your right. So that is how we shape our slit skirt. From the waist, mark 10 inches downwards. That will be your hip line. We usually use 10 inches almost for everyone, unless the person is extremely short. Okay, now put your actual hip measurement, mark that divided into 2. Then what remains, you find that, divide that into 2, put it on your left and then on your right. So this is what we do for each level of the shaping. Okay, now on the above knee line, which hers is 18 inches, what you have on your hip measurement, add 1 inch. Add 1 inch, that is it. And then on the hemline, I'm using 15 inches. 15 inches works for most people. Okay, the person with the smallest of hips, like 36, 35, you can use 14 inches, but for most people 15 inches works, unless they don't want the bottom narrowed. Okay, they don't want the bottom so narrowed, then dependent. So I hold it in with my pins so that I can flip it inside out and then see how the slit has turned out. So the slit is where I want it to be, so I'm now okay to sew it. So after flipping it inside out, you sew the slit down. I'm checking to ensure that I have my demarcations as I want them to be. Okay. I had 6.5 from the slit to the fold. So we're going to be hemming the slits. Okay, so before that, you want to stitch where the slit stops with a piece of your drawstrings. So you stitch it, you go over it about 3 times or 4 times, and then you're going to hem the bottom, the slits. You're going to hem the bottom so that it doesn't peek out when you wear it. You can hem it with your machine, or you can use your hand to do the hemming. I prefer to use my machine. So you're going to hem that side, and then you're going to rip it. Now you're going to fix in our drawstrings into the casing. So the casing is usually 1 inch. So you fold it in and stitch it all the way around. You see this fold, the folds on each side. Fold it in like a triangle, and then top stitch it. All right, top stitch it to hold it down. So once that is done, you're basically done. This is basically it. Please like this video at this juncture. Please share and subscribe. I have other tutorials on how to sew slits on my channel. Please be sure to check them out. I have 8 darts, 6 darts, and the likes. Please